Princess Diana was murdered, the British police told me, reveals father of driver Jean Paul, the father of tragic Henri Paul. The driver of Diana's car when she was killed in a car crash in Paris, said he had been told by British police the princess had been bumped off. He believed that Diana and her boyfriend Dodi Fayed had been killed by an establishment plot in a bid to stop the former Princess of Wales from marrying a Muslim, that the death of his son was seen as merely collateral damage, he said. Speaking to the Daily Mirror at his home in Brittany, northern France, he said, "Diana was killed and my son was killed. I believe they were both murdered. My son was simply collateral damage of a plot to kill Diana and they killed him as well. I am 100% sure he was not involved in this plot. He was too honorable and too honest. The English police came here to visit me and sat exactly where you are sitting now. Even inside Scotland Yard there are two sides. One believes there was a secret plot to kill Diana, the other believes it was a genuine accident. Even today there are too many classified secrets with this incident. I have no real hope to know what really happened. Perhaps it will be known in 30 or 50 years. But I would really like to know before I die. But I don't think it will happen." The 85-year-old also hit out over claims his son, who was 41 at the time, was drunk. He said, "He was not an alcoholic. He was not a drug addict. That's just lies." He claimed his son's blood sample could have been swapped or tampered with to make it appear he had alcohol in his system. Mr. Paul added, "On that day there were over 20 autopsies that took place and it was easy for the authorities to switch blood samples to show alcohol was present in the sample they said was Henri's." The 3-month inquest into Diana's death, which heard from 250 witnesses, found she and Mr. Fayed had been unlawfully killed and the deaths were down, in part, to the gross negligence of both the driver and the pursuing paparazzi who were following the Mercedes S280 limo. The inquest said Princess Diana and Mr. Fayed died in a tragic accident when Henri crashed their speeding car while drunk in a Paris tunnel. The Met Police also dismissed reports SAS troops were behind the couple's death, saying there was no credible evidence to support any such claim. There were also allegations a mystery white Fiat Uno could have collided with Diana and Dodi's car, but frail Mr. Paul said, it took them over an hour to get Princess Diana to hospital and that is when they made arrangements to make up the story about the Fiat Uno, the white car. It was a diversion and a decoy. This was just one of the many things that do not add up. For example, I still cannot believe a street cleaning vehicle was going through the tunnel cleaning up just a few hours after the accident. That is shocking. Diana's former lover James Hewitt told an inquiry into her death that he was warned off and received phone calls telling him to end their liaison, which lasted from 1989 to 1990. But he denied reports he had been warned by MI5 that if he did not stop seeing her he would die in a car crash. Mr. Paul also supported the recent claims by former VIP chauffeur Karim Kazi that the Mercedes Diana was riding in at the time of the fateful crash was a death trap. Mr. Paul said, "The truth is the car was old and it was dangerous and it should not have been driven. The brakes were dangerous. They discovered 6% water in the brake fluid. How did that happen? There was a piece of metal found at the scene, but nobody knows what it was. There are too many unanswered questions. But I do know my son is dead." Mr. Paul also paid tribute to his son, saying he was a loyal and generous man. He said, "I remember we received many letters of support from all over the world, one in particular from Australia and another from an English milkman. They both said, 'We know your son is innocent.' And that is what my son's friends put on a wreath for his funeral. The very last thing I want to say about this incident is, someone killed my son. Someone killed my son.